All right, so figured I'd show you guys some tools of the trade. Told you I was going to take you through a day in the life. This will be a real day in the life. So got a mainline sewer backup I'm on. By the way, these are called Healy Hansons, I think. H Healy Hansons. The best work overalls. I'm an overalls guy. I like overalls because I don't want to show my crack while I'm bending over. That's just a thing I've got. Like, I'm self-conscious about the plumbing thing, so these are nice and high in the back. They cover up all your junk, so when you're bending over and you're under a sink, you're not doing the old plumber crack thing. Don't do the plumber crack thing. People don't like it, despite what you might think. Anyway, mainline sewer backup. Every house, let me make sure I can say every. Most houses, I'm going to say like 99% of the houses that I've ever come across have one pipe that leaves the house that carries waste out of the home, wastewater. And it's called a lateral. Mainline sewer. What are some other terms for it? That's pretty much it. Main sewer, sewer lateral. Yeah, main drain, whatever. Anyway, that's the pipe that leaves the house. In my area, we have basements. So some areas don't have basements, but I'm in the Midwest. We get tornadoes around here. We have basements, and it makes the job a lot harder. So if you're in an area that's got basements and old houses like we do, you can see like these houses around here are old, man. They're 1950s, 1960s. They've got cast iron under the floor. This is real drain cleaning. This is not Florida with pipes 2 feet below the ground that are all PVC and new. This is tough stuff, man. Like, I'm probably in one of the, if you're in an area that has a lot of basements and it has old houses, you're doing real drain cleaning because your pipes are below ground. That's why I'm wearing this doohickey, this headlamp, because I've got to look down pipe shafts that are 10 feet deep. And I don't care what flashlight you've got or your cell phone, it's just not good enough. Like, some of them are like 12 feet deep, 13 feet deep, and you need to light it up, man. You really need to light it up. So Phoenix headlamps. Phoenix makes, in my opinion, the best headlamps on the market. So if you're looking for a headlamp, look for Phoenix. You're going to spend some money on a good headlamp. This has got the big battery in the back. Like, I look like a goober, but I can see what I'm doing. Cameras. And this is just going to be a quick tools of the trade. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this, but I've got a rigid camera, and I'll show you that. It's just a standard rigid. It's the big boy. It's the standard. Like, everybody wants one. Everyone uses one in the trade. But their camera heads suck. Rigid camera heads are like yellow, and they're not very clear. And so if you're looking for a camera, just keep that in mind. Like, I've got a rigid setup. I've got the rigid CS6X monitor and a standard reel, but I've got a place here locally in town that puts like Chinese camera heads on rigid cameras, and the Chinese camera heads, the imported ones from China, they're real clear. They're bright, and you can just see way better with them. So I hate rigid camera heads. They break all the time. They're real weak. They don't last more than maybe 2 years if you're careful with them. So at $5,000 a pop, man, that's something to think about, because that's an expensive little venture to be replacing camera heads all the time at $5,000 a pop. So we go for the imported ones. Ones I buy are like, I think they're $3,000, maybe 2,500. Anyway, like half the price. So, all right, let's go clean a drain. Let's show you how to do this. Main drains. Couple reasons why they can back up. Almost always in my area, it's tree roots. For whatever reason, people put trees in their front yards, like right beside their sewers, and the tree roots will get through the clay tile. The clay tile is like comes in sections, and so every couple feet there's like a seam. And this is my view, so that's the clean out right there, the clean out cap, and basically that's how you get down to the main sewer. But my area, there are lots of clay tile sewer lines, lots. And so those tree roots will come through. I'm gonna put this down for a minute and get this cap off. Those tree roots will come through the clay, and they'll infiltrate the line, and then they'll clog up the sewer. Now, what do I use to clean the line? Well, I use a jetter. That's a trailer jetter. I bought that from American Jetters in Tennessee. Shout out to Andy, the owner of American Jetters. They make a great product. I'm gonna sit you down again, and sorry for the bumpiness of the camera. They make a great product. Has a 5,000 PSI, 8 gallon a minute jetter. It was about 40 something $1,000. So if you're just starting out, that's a big expense to bite off. I would tell you, if you're just starting out, buy a good cable machine. Buy a rigid cable machine, one that's easy to work with. Rigid makes a good mainline cable machine. Probably get one for a couple grand, or buy it used. Maybe you can get one online for like $1,000. 6-inch blade inside of a 6-inch pipe is going to do the trick. You're going to be fine with that. The problem I have around here is that a lot of people don't have outside cleanouts. Maybe like half of all my customers have one. So what that means is you can't access the main sewer from outside. You've got to go in the home and put a 3 or 4-inch blade down a 4-inch pipe, and once it gets out in the 6-inch clay, you're not doing much. You're just poking holes at that point. So it's really best to get a jetter, because I can stick that jetter down a 3 or 4-inch pipe, get it wall-to-wall squeaky clean. I can also remove sludge with that jetter. That's a big deal. You get a lot of sludge and cast iron. Takes me no time to rip roots with that machine, so think about that. Jetters are great. You just want to get your PSI up. 5,000, man. The Australians have taught us how to clean sewer lines. The Australians use 5,000 PSI. Don't monkey around with 3,000 or 4,000 PSI. It's not enough, because by the time your water gets down to the end of the hose, you've lost a lot of pressure. So if you're starting at 5, you might be putting out 4 at the end of your jetter hose. So start big, man. 5,000 PSI is where you want to be on your jetter. No exceptions. Here in America, we use these 3,000, 4,000 PSI machines. Well, you got to go up to like 20 gallons a minute in order for that to rip roots. And that's ridiculous, because if you make a mistake and you go too far inside that sewer line in the house, that 20 gallons a minute is not going to have a lot of places to go. If you know, you're going to find yourself shooting water out of somebody's floor drain and flooding the basement. So stick with low GPMs. You don't need a lot. 8's fine, 10's good, 12 might be a little bit much. 12 is going to be eating a lot of water out of that tank too. You either pull a tank behind you or you're doing on demand, and a house is not going to keep up with 12 gallons a minute out of the hose bib. So you're if you're up at 12 or above, you're going to need to tote water with you. I bring water with me anyway, just because everybody's hoses suck, man. The water pressure sucks. So, even at 8 gallons a minute, a garden hose is not going to keep up with it. So 5,000 PSI, that's a standard. That's a gold standard. Trust me, I've used every jetter you can get your hands on. 5,000 PSI. If you're going to cut roots, 5,000 PSI. 8 gallons minimum. No more than 12. Honestly, you just don't need more than 12. If you get up above 12, you are a risk. in residential sewer cleaning. I'm serious. If you're 16, 18, 20 gallons a minute, you are a risk. You are going to flood someone's basement. I guarantee you, unless you are just super careful, and you know, there's just not a lot of margin for error in a residential setting. Now, if you're in a commercial thing, you're doing 8-inch drains, 10-inch drains, 12-inch drains. All right, got to get those GPMs way, way up. We got to flow hard. If you're cleaning like a restaurant with a bunch of grease in it, 8-inch line, you're going to want to rip, man. You're going to want 20 gallons a minute at 5,000 PSI or 4,000 PSI. But standard residential, 5,000 is perfect. It is perfect. And 8 gallons a minute is like magic. 5,000 at 8 gallons is magic. So that's really it. Jetter, camera, those are your like lifeblood right there. I'll talk more about the little lines, but for main lines, that's it. So I'll drop a second video here to show you how I clean the line and what I find. All right.